Hello everyone, it's Monica with Presley Girl Creations. I hope everyone is doing well. I was playing in my craft room today trying to do some mask makes with some scraps, and my goal today was to make some envelopes. And I thought I would just get on here and show you. I know that there's several videos anytime you want to learn how to make some paper envelopes. There's some beautiful envelopes from digitals you can print and cut out. I just wanted some basic envelopes to have some tucks or abilities to put into journals, put some tags or goodies, or someone could write a letter and stick it in there. So my goal was to really just use up some of my scraps. I have a lot. And I wanted to deplete those before I start tearing up anything else and creating more scraps. So these are a few that I created today. These are from an agenda that I had a long time ago. I have some pages of that. You see right here. I had color dyed on with some Easter egg dye. I had bought some of that after Easter and played around with that a while back. Coffee. Baked them in the oven. You can see they have a bit of a pattern here. I just thought they were cool. They make the perfect size. I like that they have the lines on them. So you can see I just folded it, glued, did a little bit of glue, and I'm going to keep it this way because you can write on it. I like the way it looks. I put my 1 Corinthians stamp in here that I love the scripture. And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. So true. I love that scripture. And, you know, how more fitting. We're right here at Valentine's. I also thought this one was particularly interesting. At the top, it'll have quotes from famous people. And this one said, "A clear and innocent conscience fears nothing." I love that. Queen Elizabeth I of England. How cool is that? So I am putting my little stamp in there. I created a little pocket. These can be glued, clipped into journals, sent with Happy Mail. I do intend to do a half circle punch right here. I can't find it. I mean, I have tore this craft room up looking for it, and I can't find it. So it will show up, or I will eventually get another one. But for right now, I'm just mass making these. Nothing huge. And I went into the Dollar Tree, and I don't know if I can't get my whole little basket totally in here, but they had these little pink baskets. They had some cream ones, some red ones at my Dollar Tree. And I thought, what a cool thing to put my mass makes in. $1.25. I'm all about pink, so I stuck some in here. So I would just say to anyone, you know, there's a ton of videos. There's some wonderful crafters. I know that when I first started journaling, you get itching and you want to have everything be just so. You see all the latest and cool gadgets. But I've learned that you can make the most beautiful stuff too, just using some things you have around the house, some things you happen to come across. So this was from an old agenda, like I said, 2011. I didn't use it. And so I just colored the pages, and I happen to really like the way those turned out. So we'll make a couple of those. And I'll try to make one of these. This, again, an old agenda scrap. Cut it in half. It's a little bit thicker. I won't do anything else to it other than maybe the half punch. You can write on it. Had some roses. Put some notes. I love it. Different sizes. So everything doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. Everything doesn't have to be the same size. That's what's great about this junk journaling that everybody's in. You can just be creative, do it your way. Don't worry about how anyone else is doing it. If you like it, you know, do your own variation of it. This particular piece right here, let me show you. I have an original French page, and I didn't want to tear it up. So what I did was with one of my digitals, and I apologize, I have several, and I meant to try to find out which one this one is. But it was just a background, and so I copied the original um, onto the paper, and then I made photocopies of that. I hope that makes sense. So my original does have this pattern on it because I ran it through as like regular paper when I printed the background. And I have seen a couple of people do and try some things like that, so I really thought that was cool. I didn't want to tear up the original, and then I made copies of it, and this is what I came up with. So I don't feel so bad tearing this up. I like to try to keep some of that. We can't keep everything, but that's what I did with this one. I got a piece of book page to thicken it up a little bit, not have it be so thin. I think it's cute. I may embellish it more when time comes that I'm going to use it, but I also came across, in looking for my circle punch, I came across this punch that I had. It is a little bulky, but it was at Tuesday morning. It was pretty decently priced. Our Tuesday morning closed, unfortunately. I was really sad to see it leave because sometimes you can find some cute things, even Tim Holtz stuff. So I purchased it, and I had forgotten I had it till I came across it looking for my circle punch. So I just popped out the top right here and thought it made a really pretty flat there. And this is just some music paper. Can't go wrong with that. You know, you can find music paper anywhere. Just about. So, let's make a couple of these. Here's my paper. And super easy. Nothing really difficult. I hope everyone's doing well and having a great week. We have actually had spring weather here. It's been lovely. I caught a bird making a bird nest today in my birdhouse, and I don't know if he's going to make it because we're expecting possibly some snow and ice here tomorrow. I'm in the south, and you just do not know what you're going to get from one day to the next. So these two birds were working just as hard as they could, and they're making a nest. They think it's spring, and I do believe it's going to get springy later on this week. Go figure. So what I'm doing here is just folding this up. I want to reinforce this area right here because we're probably going to be pulling things in and out of the pocket or the envelope. And I want it to be sturdier. You know, you're sticking things in and out, in and out. And if it's just a single page, it might not be so bad if it's more of a cardboardy, thicker type texture. I don't even know if I'd say cardboard, but stock paper. It probably wouldn't, but I fold this little part down. Sometimes I forget. Again, I'm going to come back when I find my circle punch, and I'm going to take care of that right there. And then we're just going to glue. I've got this glue stick at the dollar store, and it's probably not the greatest. I have some scotch, but for what I'm doing, once I glue these little sides down, it's not going to be a big deal. Just put a little line of glue. And this is art glitter glue I have in here. I like it. Sticks pretty quick and fast, though. And these little bottles are easy to squeeze. So I'm using that. Now, again, if you're new to junk journaling, and I'm still new. I'm a putzer a little bit right now. I'm still learning, playing, seeing all the cool stuff everybody has. This bone file is a big popular thing, and I just had to have one. It's great. I use it. It does do great with the creases. Never had heard of a bone folder, bone file, whatever, until I started watching junk journaling videos. and I had to get one. But to be honest, because I lose it all the time, I use a card. I love Earth Fare. I don't know. Earth Fare is kind of like Whole Foods locally, and ours closed. Thanks, COVID. Had just opened and then it closed. I loved that place. But it works just as good. You can see I've got paint, all kinds of stuff on it. So use what you have. You can use this, you know, anything that's fairly sturdy, you can use. You don't have to have a bone folder if you don't want to spend the money to get one. I do like mine, but I think sometimes people go out and just start buying everything. And you've got so many things at home you can use as it is. There's so many cool tips, tricks out there of things you can use. So that's pretty much where I want it to be. You can see this side's rounded, this side's not. So it's just the way the agenda was. I'm going to use my corner punch on here. And it's gotten dull. And I saw this tip. If you put like a little piece of cardstock up under there, it'll punch it. But if I was to just stick that piece of paper right there, it's too thin, it would just tear it. So I'm going to use that punch until it just won't punch anymore. And I'm going to put my stamp in there. My love stamp. That way when whoever opens that, they'll see it. So, and you know I'm going to use my Tim Holtz. Now, dies. I did try this for a while because I got the great idea from Pam at the Paper Outpost. If you don't follow her, reach out. She's got a great channel. She has some great ideas and easy ways of doing things. But you can use old makeup, old blush. I do have this Tim Holtz pad. It's my favorite. I have several more because I do like to ink. But I have used some old makeup on some things in the past. I like the glitter in some of the blushes and eyeshadows. I just didn't have a lot of browns. And I tend to lean more towards the browns. But hey, again, use what you got. If you've got some old makeup, you can go to the Dollar Tree and get you some type of little makeup sponge, little brush. I've seen those. Actually, I think I have one. I got this from the Dollar Tree. You'll see some people use this. $1.25 now, right? But you could use that with some makeup that you have. I was doing that, pulling everything out. But I did end up, back when Hobby Lobby had their 40% off coupon, I hate that that went away. And I didn't fully understand Hobby Lobby's sales and how they rotate their sales and how they come and go. But I had that coupon at the time. I was fairly new to Hobby Lobby too. And I bought the Tim Holtz ink. And this is the vintage photo. But let me just tell you, I bought this in 2020 and it still works. I haven't added any water to it. I do try to keep it covered up. I have some small ones, like some little sample ones. I was looking for the top. You can see where I put my stamper. Just like that. I did purchase these. I do have the replaceable things like this. It's an easy dauber for me to hold. So I did put a little bit of an investment in that. But I have had this all that time. It still stamps. Hey, love it. But if you don't have the money or the ability to get that, then see what you got in your makeup cabinet. Bronzer, some brown eyeshadow. I think that'd be great. We'll do one more, and then I'm going to try to do one other one. So you can just see I'm just simply eyeballing it, really. I don't care about the size. I don't do a lot of measurements with my ruler. I am not exactly a perfectionist type person. I like imperfection. Now, I will say sometimes if things are not straight across, they can drive me crazy. And I just kind of match this up with these circles. That's how I got here. And then I just sort of fold this down and do the same thing. Match it up to a circle. That's my eyeball. And there you have it. I mean, simple, cute, easy peasy. I'm going to put a little glue here on the edge. If you make a mistake, you might can repurpose it into something else. Book pages are great. You saw my music page. I may do another music page. You know, a lot of people use wipes. Again, Dollar Tree. I like this one, rose water. I love the smell of roses. This is their little face washes. I use them instead of baby wipes. Dollar Tree. They'll last. Can you tell I like the Dollar Tree? Ha! Okay. Let me get this corner up here. So go through and see what you have in the way of papers, scraps. If you have, if you don't have any cardstock or thicker papers, double it up. Glue it together. Don't complicate it. You'll be amazed at what you can do with scraps. If you go to my Instagram page, I made all these snippets one time. And I used some old paper I had. I think I have a before picture to one side. And I just didn't want to throw it away, so I used it. And I used some of my ribbons. I will say I do love ribbon. I love sparkly, as you guys know from my first video. I love ribbon. By the way, thank you to everybody that subscribed to me and left me a message and survived my first video. I really do appreciate you guys checking it out. It's really a great community of ladies, and I know there's some guys out there too that are great crafters. Okay. Now all it needs is my little part there. And I'm done. It'll fit right in. This is not a journal. I'm afraid I don't have one close by. It's one of my favorite little books that sits on my desk, and I keep it here all the time, even though it's perfect for Valentine's. I got this at a thrift store. $3. I think I paid $3 for it, and look at these gorgeous pages. Just look at it. Isn't it? I know there's a glare, but the Victorian, the vintage, to die for. So in a journal, you can either clip it up, down, sideways. If you decided you wanted to glue it in and create a pocket behind, you could do that. Or just stick it in there, you know. So it's going to be a good size. I like it. Now, I do have some other paper. Let's see. From my scraps. This piece right here I think is gorgeous. I think it was from a 12 by 12 I purchased somewhere. It's not from a creator online. But I think it could be pretty. I like this outside part right here. I don't really think it's even. Let me get my little, it's probably too long, isn't it? So let's cut it. Let's do a little cut here. And make it smaller so it will fit. I mean, you really could do either side. But let me make an envelope right here. I just want to make sure that it's even. I can tell right here it's not even. And I just want to line it up. This little Fiskars, I paid $1 at again, a thrift store. I mean, I'm not a straight eyeballer when it comes to cutting with scissors. And I do like to have things straight. But again, I found a lot of great stuff at the thrift stores. Let's see how I want this to go. Do I want it to go this way? This way? Would I rather have it be like that? I think I'm going to go this way, because I'm going to try to show you my special pretty little punch here. So I'll just do one of these and we'll be done. I just wanted to jump on here and show you what I'm working on, mass makes, so that I can get ahead of the holidays that are going to be coming up. This is a little more cardstocky, so I'm going to use, instead of the glue stick, I'm going to use this. Make sure I get it down there pretty good. Again, look, I'll show you. I'm using my little card here. Works just as well. It's not that you can't get those nice things, but know that you can create with whatever you have. Just use what you have. Some of the things I have, I've collected over time. My friends and family, I got quite a few little, my birthday's near Christmas, so I got quite a few little Hobby Lobby gift cards. Or I would say, give me an Amazon gift card. I was talking to Junk Journal and Jenn yesterday. That's my girl. Woohoo! Hey, Jenn. And we were talking about embossing and embossing folders. And woo-wee, there's some pretty ones out there. And would I not love to have one? I just don't have the money to spend on a big fancy one. And so we were talking about those, and I told her that I lucked up at a antique mall somewhere. Whenever I travel or I go out of town, I always have my husband let me look at the local thrift stores and antique malls, because you just never know what you're going to find out of town, what's different. And a lady had a cuddle bug with some embossing folders and die cuts for $10. And I was ecstatic. Look at that. That's pretty, isn't it? But what I want to do is try this. So I'm going to put this in here, push it all the way in. Let's hope it works. See how the little pieces pop out here? I have my catalog here. I hope there's not too much of a glare, but I have it here for gluing purposes. Let my paper go. All right. Let's hope it didn't tear. I'm sorry if I hit the camera. Oh. Okay. Not super hip on this here at the end. So I am going to attempt to just get a little piece of that and see if I can punch just that part out. I hope my camera's not wobbling too much. And I apologize if it is. What is up with this piece? It just needs to go away. Okay. Okay. You get the gist of it, right? And if I don't like it, guess what? I just need to do something with it. I don't like it. This is okay. Is it driving everybody crazy like it is me? Look, I hope I don't mess this up, but I'm going to attempt to put that right back in there again. Y'all, I may mess this up. You hear all that? That's not a good sound if it's punching out a whole lot more. Well, I guess I got it on the... I don't like that little piece. Look. I hope this doesn't make it look janky, but you know what? Nothing's perfect. Janky's my word. I tell my hairdresser that when I go see her. She says, how's your hair? And I say, it's janky, fix it. That's going to be good enough for me. See, you wouldn't really know that there's imperfections there. And as I said, I like a little bit of imperfection. I think that's pretty. So let's just ink it up and call it a day. So I'd like to encourage you just to pull out your magazines, old books, you know, paperbacks that you don't read that has paper, as long as it's not risque in nature. And make you some envelopes. Make you some, I'm going to mass make some tucks and pockets. I need to do that. I have plenty of book pages for that. So that's what I'm working on, building up some things so that when I start working on some projects, I have some ideas. I've got things made up. It's hard to do a journal, even a small one for anyone, if you don't have stuff to put in there. So there it is. I don't know that that'll fit in here on that. I could put it there, but I'm going to hold off on that for right now. I like it the way it is. And I'm going to do a few more. So thank you for joining me. Let me know what you think. If you want to subscribe to my Instagram, it's Presley Girl Creations. My account is private, but if you request, I will accept. And I hope everyone has a great weekend and Valentine's, and I appreciate everyone taking the time to join me. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.